The right to education. The right to education has been recognized as a human right in a number of international conventions, including the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, which recognizes a right to free, compulsory, primary education for all, an obligation to develop secondary education accessible to all as well. In 2019, an estimated 260 million children worldwide did not have access to school education, and social inequality was a major cause. The Human Rights Measurement Initiative measures the right to education for countries around the world based on their level of income. The right to education is reflected in Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which states, "Everyone has a right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. Education shall be directed to the full development of the human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. It shall promote understanding, tolerance, and friendship among all nations, racial or religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. Parents have a prior right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their kids. The right to education has been reaffirmed in the 1960 UNESCO Convention Against Discrimination in Education, the 1966 International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights, and the 1981 Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, the 1989 Convention on the Rights of the Child, and the 2006 Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. In Africa, both the 1981, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, and the 1990 African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child recognizes the right to education. In Europe, Article 2, the first protocol of the 20th of March 1952 to the European Convention on Human Rights, state that the right to education is recognized as a human right and is understood to establish an entitlement to education. Education is crucial. It is the access to formal institutional instruction, but it also comprises informal education. Generally, international instruments use the term in this sense, and the right to education, as protected by international human rights instruments, refers primarily to education in a narrow sense.